Welcome to the Daily Vibecasting.
Great to be here.
We are diving deep into today's most talked about moments from the X feed, specifically September 14, 2025.
Yeah, what's buzzing today?
Think of this as your essential, brisk roundup, kind of a shortcut to being genuinely well-informed on what's driving conversation today.
Definitely.
From thorny ethical dilemmas and surprising cultural shifts to, well, laugh-out-loud sports humor and sharp tech satire, we're scanning that digital pulse to bring you the freshest buzz. So buckle up, because we're not just reporting. We're extracting the most important nuggets of knowledge and, connecting those dots for you.
That's a powerful way to frame it. This isn't just like a random collection of trending posts. It's a fascinating, almost kaleidoscopic snapshot of current online discourse.
Exactly.
What we aim to do for you today is highlight how these individual posts, seemingly disparate, actually connect to much broader societal themes and underlying human patterns.
Right.
We'll help you quickly grasp the significance of each trend, not just what happened, but why it matters, giving you that crucial context to understand the collective vibe of the day.
That's our mission. And let's kick things off with a post that has truly ignited intense debate, forcing us to grapple with justice, familial loyalty, and, well, a very significant sum of money.
Okay.
This comes to us from @Bill Ackman. He posted, a number of people have reached out and/or posted, expressing concern that Tyler Robinson's father may collect a $1 2-minute reward for turning in his son, which inspires a few thoughts. First, in order for rewards to be effective in finding criminals, the rewards need to be paid even.
Wow.
Let's dig into this. It's a really tricky ethical question, isn't it? Justice versus deeply personal bonds.
Oh, absolutely. What's fascinating here is the stark ethical and emotional dilemma at its core. You've got Tyler Robinson, the prime suspect in Charlie Kirk's murder.
Right.
And his father, Matt Robinson, is believed to have played a role in his apprehension, potentially making him eligible for that huge $1.2 million reward.
And the governor confirmed a family member was involved.
Yeah, Utah Governor Spencer Cox on September 12th confirmed a family member was instrumental. Now, Bill Ackman's stance is incredibly pragmatic, very clear. For these big rewards to work, to actually help law enforcement find criminals, they must be paid consistently, no exceptions.
So Ackman is basically arguing that the system's integrity, its ability to reliably get tips, that outweighs the sort of moral discomfort some might feel in a situation like this.
Exactly. He's focusing purely on the efficacy of the system. And, there's actually solid criminological evidence backing this up. A 2018 study, I think it was in the Journal of Quantitative Criminology, found that when rewards are consistently honored, seen as reliable, the success rate in capturing fugitives jumped by a significant 30%.
30%?
Yeah, it underscores his point. If you want a system to work, its rules have to be applied universally. But this pragmatic view, it really stands in pretty stark contrast to a lot of the public sentiment we're seeing on X.
Right. People feel differently.
A lot of users are saying the father should morally waive the reward, driven by this feeling that profiting from such a familial betrayal just feels wrong. Ackman, for his part, suggests legal avenues like, say, civil litigation as a safeguard if the reward goes to an unjust actor. But the fundamental principle for him remains pay the reward, ensure the system works.
It really makes you consider that balance, doesn't it, between a robust justice system and, well, individual morality and family ties.
It's a tough one.
That was an intense dive for sure. Makes you wonder about the moral compass guiding individual choices.
Yeah.
Speaking of individual choices, our next post shifts gears dramatically. It's a very personal yet widely resonant moment of spiritual exploration.
Oh, interesting shift.
This comes from @ZoomerT, who posted simply, bought my first Bible today. What's truly captivating about this, I think, is how a simple personal milestone seems to reflect a much larger cultural current, especially among young people.
It absolutely does. This individual act by @ZoomerT isn't isolated. It's a personal reflection of a reported trend we're seeing in 2025. A noticeable increase in interest in spirituality, even traditional faith, among Gen Z.
Really? Is there data on that?
Yeah, think about this. A Pew Research study from just June 2025 actually noted a striking 12% rise in religious text purchases among 18 to 25-year-olds in the UK.
12%, that's significant.
It points to a broader trend. And the drivers, well, they could be anything, right? Broader cultural shifts, maybe a search for meaning in these uncertain times, grappling with economic anxieties.
So it's almost like some young people are turning to established spiritual frameworks as a way to navigate a world that feels, Well, pretty chaotic.
Precisely. And in this particular user's case, Zoomer T also shared they're starting the Catholic conversion process.
Oh, wow.
Which usually involves the OCIA, the Order of Christian Initiation for Adults. It's a structured journey. And look, Vatican statistics from 2024 showed over 150,000 adults joined the Catholic Church globally last year.
150,000.
So it suggests a significant, if maybe quiet, revival of structured religious entry, even while we talk about secularization.
Interesting timing, too, you mentioned.
Yeah, this post, September 13th, coincided with the Goodwood Revival, that event celebrating vintage British culture.
Right, the cars and fashion.
Exactly. It might hint at an even broader nostalgic movement influencing younger generations, maybe exploring historical practices, cultural or spiritual, perhaps as a counter-narrative to modern individualism or, the perceived superficiality of digital life.
A search for roots.
A fascinating search for roots and meaning in what can feel like an increasingly rootless world.
So we've seen how deeply personal choices can ripple out and reflect larger societal currents. Our next post again touches on perception, but this time it's about how public figures are viewed and how that view can radically shift, often spurred by unforeseen events.
Okay.
This comes from @Abe Greenwald, who posted, "To be honest, I never paid much attention to Charlie Kirk. I'm the wrong demo. I've now been watching his work, and I see how extraordinarily lovable he was." This is very personal reflection, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it highlights how public perception of prominent figures can truly evolve, especially after significant events.
This post from Abe Greenwald, it really encapsulates a shift in perspective around Charlie Kirk. The conservative activist who, as we mentioned, was tragically killed September 10th in Utah.
Right.
His death got global attention, and he even received a posthumous Presidential Medal of Freedom from former President Trump, which really underscores the influence he had, particularly with youth, through Turning Point USA.
It seems tragedy can sometimes strip away those initial dismissals or labels. What does this post tell us about how public figures are really perceived, maybe beyond the headlines, and how quickly perceptions change?
It's a profound question. Greenwald's initial self-description, "I'm the wrong demo," that suggests a prior dismissal, right? Maybe disinterest based on political labels or media narratives. But in the wake of Kirk's death, that perception seems shattered, replaced by this sense of his lovability. That shift is incredibly telling. It challenges the idea that we always see public figures through a fixed lens.
And it wasn't just a feeling, you're saying. There was real reach there.
Well, yeah. It's not just subjective. Turning Point USA's own data from 2024 showed Kirk's podcast downloads were hitting between 500,000 and 750,000 daily.
Wow, daily.
Those are significant numbers. It indicates a vast, engaged audience that maybe often went under-acknowledged by mainstream media.
Interesting.
So this kind of post and the data, it suggests these reevaluations, from polarizing figure to respected voice, can stem from genuine engagement, maybe a more nuanced understanding of an individual's impact, rather than just a change in the external narrative.
Like it's not just spin.
Maybe not always. A 2023 study in the Journal of Politics actually highlighted how personal connections or significant events can sometimes bridge divides that pure ideology often can't. It's a powerful reminder, I think, that our judgments are often influenced by context and emotion, not just those pre-existing labels.
That's a fascinating look at how deeply impactful a single event can be on collective memory, on individual perception. But okay, not all shifts are so serious. Sometimes the most resonant online moments are pure, unadulterated fan rivalry and humor.
Oh yeah, gotta have those.
So let's lighten the mood a bit and talk about something truly universal. College football cookout chaos.
Okay.
This next post had me chuckling. @BostonConnor posted, "Come on, who did this? https://t.co/x57tkWXSJO." And that link, it's an image.
Let's see it.
Let's unpack this. It's a classic piece of fan humor from the college football world that perfectly captures rivalry and modern memes in one brilliant stroke.
Okay, I see it now. Yeah, what we're looking at in that image is just a prime example of that creative, good-natured, fan-made signage you see at college games. This particular one is almost certainly from a Georgia Bulldogs versus Ohio State Buckeyes game. It's playfully referencing Georgia's dramatic 42-40 win over Ohio State back in the 2022 college football playoff semifinal.
A game fans definitely remember.
Oh yeah, vividly. But the real genius here, I think, is the sub-to-cookout twist.
The cookout meme. That's classic internet culture bleeding into real life.
Exactly. It blends that fierce fan rivalry with the cultural meme of inviting allies to a cookout, which, online often signifies approval or welcoming someone to your side, or in this context.
Yeah.
It's playfully mocking Ohio State fans for their losses, kind of in a lighthearted, almost patronizing way. Like, come on over, we won again.
Haha, okay. And the timing fits.
Oh, yeah. This type of signage aligns perfectly with the early games of the 2025 season. That's when the fan-made signs really start heating up the rivalries for the year. It's a huge part in the fan experience.
And these signs have really blown up with social media, haven't they? More than they used to.
They absolutely have. There's actually data from the American Football Fans Association showing a notable 15% increase in creative fan signage since 2020.
15%.
And a huge part of that is social media amplification. A clever sign doesn't just entertain people in the stadium anymore, it goes viral instantly.
Right.
It's a testament to that fan-driven satire and humor. I mean, ESPN's College Game Day has a long history of featuring these signs prominently, right? They acknowledge how they've become this cherished tradition, how they really shape game day culture.
So true.
This post, then, isn't just about football. It's about how shared cultural references, inside jokes, they solidify community and identity, even across rivalries. It's just great sports fandom creativity.
From the fields of football and shared fan culture to the, well, often hidden halls of power, our next post dives into the world of political influence.
Okay, another shift.
This is from @Cernovich, who posted, Charlie was about to lose his last major donor because he refused to ban Tucker Carlson from events. There are a lot of people shedding crocodile tears. The billionaires must be exposed for the cretins that they are.
Oof, strong words.
Here's where it gets really interesting, right? This post attempts to pull back the curtain on alleged power struggles within political and media circles.
Yeah, this post by Cernovich really hints at a very significant power struggle, suggesting that Charlie, and we can probably infer that's Charlie Kirk given our earlier talk, was facing immense pressure from a major donor and the demand exclude Tucker Carlson from events. Now, Carlson himself is highly polarizing, and he's known for being an outspoken critic of billionaire influence.
Right. He's gone after people before.
Exactly. Famously evidenced by his 2019 attacks on hedge fund donor Paul Singer on his show, really calling out how wealth can influence politics.
So this isn't just being presented as a one-off incident, but more like a reflection of a broader pattern of influence by the super rich.
That's precisely the implication Cernovich is drawing. And, you know, there's broader context here. Historical data, like a 2025 study from Northwestern University, actually shows that about 11% of billionaires have held political office, often leaning conservative.
11%. Wow.
It suggests a systemic pattern where wealthy individuals are actively shaping political narratives and policy. Cernovich's call to expose the cretins taps into that well-established vein of public suspicion about the opacity of political financing and influence. And furthermore, recent web insights from the Hindustan Times just in early September 2025 revealed U.S. billionaires have collectively donated an astounding $185 billion since 2015.
Billion with a B.
Yes. $185 billion. Now, that's not just to politics. It includes education, medical research, too. But that figure certainly highlights the immense financial power that can, you know, implicitly or explicitly sway public discourse and political events. It just fuels these narratives of hidden manipulation and power dynamics behind the scenes.
That is definitely a lot to chew on, revealing those intricate, sometimes unsettling dynamics of power and influence.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap up with a post that's both humorous and actually incredibly thought-provoking about how we perceive threats and maybe how we think about updating our understanding.
Like the last one.
@Paul100 posted, simply, update your threat detection software.
Okay, what's the context?
So what does this all mean? It's a quick, witty post that really makes us think about security, both digital and societal, and how old, often debunked ideas sometimes resurface in unexpected ways.
Okay. Yeah, this post by Paul100 is a very clever piece of satirical commentary. It's actually alluding to an online thread that was, believe it or not, analyzing facial features.
Oh, no.
Yeah, specifically things like chin-to-philtrum ratios as potential indicators of criminal behavior.
Seriously, like old-school Lombroso stuff.
Exactly. What's striking is that it almost humorously revives interest in physiognomy, the totally discredited 19th century pseudoscience. Figures like Cesar Lombroso, who famously claimed physical traits could predict criminality.
Which science completely refutes.
Unequivocally. A 2018 review in criminology, for example, found absolutely zero correlation between facial structure and criminal intent or behavior. None.
So the humor comes from mashing up this totally outdated, unscientific idea with cutting-edge tech terms.
Precisely. The phrase update your threat detection software cleverly suggests integrating this kind of pseudoscientific facial analysis into, of all things, cybersecurity.
Right.
It satirically pits truly cutting-edge technology like ThreatLocker's zero-trust security model, which basically means trust nothing, verify everything, even inside your own network.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
With this utterly debunked pseudoscientific profiling, that ThreatLocker system, by the way, just launched on the FedRAMP marketplace earlier this year. That's the government-approved platform for secure cloud services.
So super modern versus super archaic.
Exactly. You have this very real advanced security solution being humorously contrasted with an absurd, antiquated one. And it also taps into, I think, a general public fascination. We've seen a spike with recent 2025 crime data and high-profile cases where people are often drawn to the allure of simplified profiling despite the science. So beyond the humor, this post subtly challenges us, maybe, to update our own critical thinking software. Be wary of old, debunked ideas popping up again in new disguises.
A great point to end on. And that brings us to the end of today's daily vibe casting.
Already.
We've spanned an incredible range today, haven't we? From those deep ethical dilemmas of loyalty and justice to shifts in personal faith among Gen Z, reevaluating public figures after tragedy, and even some classic college football banter.
Definitely covered a lot of ground.
We pulled back the curtain, allegedly, on billionaire influence and wrapped up with a witty take on threat detection that makes us think about science versus pseudoscience. It's been a whirlwind, but hopefully you're feeling a lot more informed.
It truly has. What today's deep dive really highlights, I think, is just how quickly narratives can shift, develop, and intersect on platforms like X. A single post, seemingly small, can open up discussions about deeply ingrained societal values, historical patterns, our shared human psychology, all unfolding in just a matter of hours.
Yeah.
It's this constant dynamic stream of cultural and intellectual currents that, when you look closely, reveals so much about where we are.
Indeed. So maybe consider how this daily stream of bite-sized insights, from personal moments to political commentary and everything in between, collectively shapes our understanding of the world. And what does that mean for how you engage with information, how you discern truth from noise?
Good question to ponder.
Until next time, keep those digital ears open and keep seeking out the deeper connections.